Heinz is proud to partner the Urbanist on Monocle Radio. Heinz is a leading global real estate investment manager. Heinz owns and operates $93 billion of assets across property types and on behalf of a diverse group of institutional and private wealth clients. Heinz' ambition? Well, in the words of its chairman and CEO Jeffrey Heinz, to be the best real estate investor, manager and partner in the world. Find out how Heinz is making that dream a reality. Head to heinz.com now. Heinz, a leader in real estate investing and management since 1957. Iconic music venues can often define a city's sound at a particular moment in history, such as New York's CBGB or Manchester's Hacienda. For Rio de Janeiro, Circo Voador is one such venue, becoming so intertwined with decades of Brazilian music that it recently gained intangible cultural heritage status. You're listening to Tool Stories, a Monocle production brought to you by the team behind The Urbanist. I'm Andrew Tuck. In this episode, Tomas Pinheiro tells us how Rio's flying circus has evolved throughout its history.
Recently designated as an intangible cultural heritage of Rio de Janeiro, the legendary concert venue Circo Voador, or the Flying Circus, has a rocky history that intertwines with the modern era of Brazilian music. Circo Voador first landed in a prime patch of real estate, Arpoador, the scenic peninsula between Ipanema and Copacabana neighborhoods. The year was 1982, and Brazil's military rule was beginning to crack. Circo, as it quickly became known, was born from the desire for free expression, a community-driven space whose program varied from capoeira workshops to theatrical and musical performances. With censorship loosening its grip, a group of artists pitched the idea to city officials, who granted them a month-long tenure. 3 months on, despite objections from affluent neighbors, the temporary stage remained in place. Sheltered by a deep blue tarp dusted with stars, the structure indeed looked like a circus. Inside, experimentation was the norm. During this brief, almost magical period, names like Blitz, Lobão, Paralamas and Cazuza took the stage, collaborating and pushing boundaries. Brazilians know these names well. Circo is, arguably, the birthplace of Brazilian rock. When the time finally came for it to be dismantled, the troupe roamed the city, performing mostly for underprivileged communities. Eventually, they found a new permanent home in Lapa, right beside its famous white arches and surrounded by newly planted royal palms. Rio's Bohemian district was, at the time, still derelict and largely overlooked. More than just a launchpad for musicians, Circo also played a role in shaping Lapa into the vibrant culture and nightlife hub it is today. There, the space remained true to its socially engaged ethos. Regular workshops fostered creativity, a vegetable garden took root, and even a kindergarten was established to offer children from Lapa a front-row seat to art in the making. And it wasn't just about rock. The venue welcomed an eclectic mix: punk, funk, hip-hop, reggae, new wave, and samba, among others. Sundays took on a different rhythm, drawing crowds for orchestral performances and ballroom dancing. Circo became a true cultural melting pot, the focal point for the city's emerging underground scenes. For promoters, it was never about embracing a single genre, but rather a distinct spirit that defined the lineups. For artists across the spectrum, performing on Circo's stage became a rite of passage. That spirit spread across Brazil. Circo traveled to new territories, particularly those in the northeast, landing in cities like Petrolina, Teresina, and São Luís, far from the more developed south and southeast. It even reached Guadalajara for the 1986 Mexican World Cup, with hundreds of artists aboard a Hercules plane from the Brazilian Air Force. Well into the 90s, this creative energy felt unstoppable. But in 1996, seemingly out of nowhere, Mayor Cesar Maia revoked the venue's license, citing alleged irregularities deemed a risk to the public, including widespread drug use. Rumor had it, however, that his true reason was far more political. His successor and ally, the newly elected Luis Paulo Conde, had been loudly booed and forced to leave the premises by a group of punk rockers just days earlier. Circo wasn't just shut down, it was demolished, leading to an 8-year hiatus. The closure did not go unopposed. A groundswell of resistance driven by the artistic community and the public at large sparked the SOS Circo Voador movement, which campaigned relentlessly for its revival. High-profile protest concerts and demonstrations swept through the city, culminating in the occupation of the former grounds, where artists reclaimed the space, turning it into an impromptu performance stage, a testament to Circo's enduring spirit. Under mounting pressure, the good news came, and Circo reopened in 2004. Its redesigned structure, befitting the new millennium, was a domed tensile pavilion that evokes the silhouette of a spaceship. The new design is modular and adaptable, allowing for a diverse range of performances and activities, and seamlessly blending indoor and outdoor areas, as if to underscore this institution's democratic spirit. Yet, one detail remained unchanged: the carnival-style marquee lights, spelling out its name in a familiar warm glow, just as they had in the old days. Beneath the white dome of today's Circo, and framed by the now towering palm trees, Brazilian music continues to evolve, and the die-hard fans from the 80s and 90s now mingle with a fresh wave of ticket holders. Safeguarded as an intangible cultural heritage of Rio, Circo's influence is bound to endure for generations to come. In other words, the flying circus shows no signs of a grand finale.
Tall Stories is a Monocle production from the team behind The Urbanist. This episode was written by Tomas Pinheiro and produced and edited by David Stevens. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast to receive new episodes every week. I'm Andrew Tuck, goodbye, and thank you for listening, City Lovers.